So the doorway row and lat pull are quite simple. All you need is a belt or a towel or some type of extension object that you can put around or over the door. Then you close it and it will not come, it should not open the door. You can lock your door just to be safe. You can put another belt, attach another belt to this belt to make it longer, because the more parallel you are to the floor, the harder it's going to be. So right here, this angle is not very difficult versus this angle here. And so how to do this, you can put both hands on here. The hand that is more inferior or closer to the ground is the one that's going to be doing most of the work. So you can do 10 reps or 15 reps with one hand below and then just switch for the other side. So an example would be bracing your feet against the door and then pull like this. Pull like this. Again, if you want to make it harder, get lower to the ground. If you want to make it easier, get higher to the ground. So that is a doorway row. All right, welcome to the Fitness Medicine Equipment Free Workout Series. Let's jump into it and show you how to do some of the exercises that are on the program. So one of the main exercises is going to be an air squat. That is just a regular squat. You want to have your hip crease even or below your knee crease, just like this. So you need to work on your range of motion. If you can't do a, what we call third world squat or chair, basically you just want to be able to sit like this position comfortably if you can. Also, when you're squatting, try not to let the knees cave inwards. If you do find your knees caving inwards, that means you have weak hip abductors and you need to work on those. So a proper squat, pushing the knees outwards over the toes, just like this, and then coming back up. So that is an air squat. Jumping lunge squat. So what it is, it's a lunge into the other lunge into a squat. So it is a lunge with the leg going backwards. Bring the leg up, come forwards, jump into a squat. So you can do these lunging, jumping up, jumping down. That's more explosive. If you're just starting to work out, I would not do those because you could get some patellofemoral tendonitis. So the best way to do these is just step backwards nicely, step backwards nicely, and then squat nicely. So that is a jumping lunge squat combo or just a lunge squat combo. So the next exercise on the equipment free series is a bridge. It's going to be focusing the glutes and hamstrings. So for beginners, what you will do is lay on the ground and then you're bringing your hips even in a parallel line. You don't want to hyperextend that low back. So bringing the hips up and squeezing your bottom as hard as you can for a second and then back down. To make it more difficult, you can do it with one leg. And then if those are too easy for you, you can add more difficulty by having a chair or a bench. Because this is going to increase your hip flexion range of motion. Therefore, there's more hip extension that you have to achieve. Just like this. And that is a good hamstring and glute exercise. And again, to make this one even more difficult, one leg and down. So that is the glute hamstring bridge exercise. For the next exercise, we're going to go back to the chair. We're going to be doing dips. These are going to target the tricep, some of the shoulder, and some of the lower portion of the chest. So you just find a chair, a bench, a bed, something that's elevated off the ground, a ladder. You go down nice and slow to what your shoulders allow. If you have really tight anterior deltoids and pec, then obviously you won't be able to get as further down. You push up, squeeze as hard as you can. 1, 2, down slowly. 1, 2. Try not to lean forward like this, how my shoulders are caving in. You don't want the shoulders to cave in. You want to keep the shoulders back, so chest up and nice and tight. Up. To make that more difficult, you can put your feet up on another chair or a bench. So if your feet are elevated and your arms are elevated, that's going to make it more difficult because there's more range of motion to go through. The next exercise is one that most people know. It's the push-up. So you just put your hands flat on the ground. If you have very tight wrist or poor wrist mobility, you will tend to push your wrist outward, which is okay, but the goal is to have them forward. You don't want to be up like this, but you don't want to have an extended lumbar spine. So squeeze your glutes parallel to the ground. Touch your nose to the floor if you can and come back up. You do not want to flare the elbows out. So elbows flared out like this. Incorrect. You can develop shoulder issues over time. So keeping the elbows close to your side. And push up. If you cannot do at least 10 push-ups like that, you can do them with your knees on the ground. The same thing, just knees on the floor. Good. You can progress towards a normal push-up by pushing your knees further back until you can put one leg in the air, then both legs, just like that. If you can do maybe 5 regular push-ups, but then you get fatigued, what you can do is do a knee push-up and a regular push-up. Knee push-up, regular push-up. So that is the push-up that we will be using. Next exercise is the figure 4. It's for your abdominals. What that is a crunch that will also help target your obliques. So you're in a figure 4 position, right knee up, left elbow out to the side. You're coming up, you're trying to touch that knee to the elbow. Then you just switch. So that is the figure 4. Next exercise is going to be for your deltoids, mainly your side deltoids, to build width of the shoulder, to give your shoulder that nice round look. So what it is an alternating static hold side lateral. Basically, elbows out to the side, one arm goes down, one arm comes up. Then you switch, just like that. Ways to make it more difficult. You can hold shoes. These are pretty light, I can't really tell the difference. But it starts to get heavy after around 6 or 7 reps because of that time under tension, where that muscle is constantly firing, so you don't need a lot of weight. You can hold equal soup cans, dumbbells, anything to make it more challenging. You can do this. So these are the static hold side laterals. Okay, next exercise is going to be the rear delt and rhomboid fly. So it's going to focus on the middle back and posterior deltoid. Again, we're going to go back to the chair. You can do this in many places. You can even lay on the side of a bed with your arm hanging off, and you're just doing this motion here, squeezing the shoulder blade together on the chair. If you're laying on the bed, you can only do one arm at a time, obviously, because your other arm is going to be on the bed. But by doing it on a chair or an object where both arms can freely move, we will do the static hold similar to the side laterals. So you're going to stick your butt out. That back is nice and straight. No rounded back, no hyperextended back. So butts out, arms down, Both arms come up, squeeze your shoulder blades, and alternate. Squeeze that shoulder blade as hard as you can. So this is for the rear delts and the rhomboids, and that is the rear delt rhomboid fly. The next exercise for this program is a burpee. What that is basically a push-up and then into a standing position. So a push-up, which we already went over, you would start like this, chest touches the ground, push up, you jump yourself forward, and then you jump up. So it looks like this. That's 1 rep. The next exercise in this program are called mountain climbers. So you're in a push-up position the entire time, and you're in the push-up position the entire time, and you're alternating your feet forward, bringing the right leg forward, and then back, and then the left leg forward, and then back is 1 rep. So this is 1 rep. That's 1 rep. A spider jump. So you're in a push-up position, similar to a burpee. The next exercise in this program is called a spider jump. Some people name these star jumps. It's similar to a burpee and mountain climber. It's kind of a combination of the two. So how it works is you're in a push-up position. Bring both legs forward, back, forward, jump. That is 1 rep. The skater lunge or side lunge is another exercise that we will be doing mainly for the high intensity interval training. What it is you lunge, come back to middle, lunge sideways, come back to middle, that's 1 rep. So how it works, the standing leg faces forward, try to keep this knee straight, this knee lunges, try to make sure that the heel never comes off the ground. The toes should be able to come off the air at any time to reduce patellofemoral joint pain, just like so. The walking lunge, a normal lunge, step forward. You're not going to lean forward with the knee. What you're going to do is sit backwards like you're sitting in a chair, and then step up. So it is step forward, now put your weight backwards, or you can bring your heels or toes in the air if you wanted to. All the weight should always be on the heels, never on the balls of the feet. That stresses the patellofemoral joint, and we don't want to develop patellofemoral joint pain syndrome. So you would stand up, walk again. So that is a walking lunge. If you don't have room to do walking lunges, you can do alternating static lunge. Same thing, but you would just step backwards and alternate legs. So that is the walking lunge or alternating static lunge. The next exercise in this program is called a V-Situp. So you start elbows and shoulders flexed, elbows extended, knees extended, and you're coming up to meet in the middle like a V. So that is a V-Situp. Okay, so high intensity interval training, studies show that it's better for cardiovascular health and fitness compared to aerobic training, which is just continuous steady state cardio, such as walking on a treadmill or running. The benefit of high intensity interval training is that it's shorter and it keeps your metabolism higher for longer, typically 48 to 72 hours after you're finished with that exercise. So the first one we're doing is called Mochi. It's a squat, a burpee, and then a skater lunge. That's round 1. That was 1 rep of each exercise. How it works is you're going to set a timer for 10 minutes, and you want to get as many rounds as you can in 10 minutes. Each round, add 1 rep. So we just completed one round. Now we're gonna do round 2. So it's gonna be 2, 2, and then 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now we're gonna go 3, 3, 3, and so forth. Keep track of the round you got to, and next time you do this, see if you can beat it to see if you get in better shape. So the next high intensity interval training workout is called Christian. It's gonna be a lot of tricep and chest focus because there's a lot of push-up or static push-up positions. Again, remember you can do it with your knees on the ground if you cannot do a normal push-up. So what it is, it's 1 push-up, then a star jump, then another push-up, then a V-Situp. So that's 1 round. All of that is 1 round. And you're just gonna repeat that to see how many rounds you can get to. If you cannot do the normal push-up, remember you can do the push-up like this, then your star jump, then back down to your push-up, and then your V-Sit-up. So again, as many rounds as you can get to in 10 minutes. The last high intensity interval training for this program is called Harper. It's gonna be 5 rounds for time, so you wanna record your time and try to beat it next time you do it. What it is an air squat into a alternating lunge, into a burpee. That's one round. Round 2 is going to be 2, and 2, 1, 2, and alternate. So that's 2 for the left, 2 for the right, then 2 burpees. Next round's 3, 3, 3, and so forth. So you're gonna go to 5. So last round should be 5 air squats, 5 alternating static lunges per leg, and then 5 burpees. So that is the equipment-free 3-day-a-week workout program. Thanks for joining us. Feel free to tag us if you do this, if you post it on Instagram or YouTube.